Hey guys, Charming Grissett here, out and about. Today I'm visiting the newly renovated Maryland Theater. Let's go check it out. And I'm here with Jessica Green, the executive director of the Maryland Theater. Jessica, I'm so happy that we're here today. Thank you for having us. And right now we are in the auditorium. And tell me a little bit about what you guys have done in here and why.
Well, the historic auditorium is about to turn 105 years old in 2020. So we celebrated our 100th, and the historic auditorium has had a wide range of histories, I'll say. We started out as a vaudeville house, became a movie palace for about 40 years, and in the early 70s, the front lobby and apartments that were above burned down in a fire. The historic auditorium remained, and so with help from local volunteers and donated supplies and labor, we were able to rebuild what became a smaller temporary lobby that served its purpose for almost 40 years. So when our 100th anniversary hit in 2015, we made big plans. We wanted to rebuild the original lobby, replace that original footprint, and restore the Maryland Theater to what she was originally. So in preparation for that, we restored the historic auditorium, new flooring, new seating, new HVAC, new lighting, sound, restoration work on the plaster. So we had to fix what we had initially, and then in 2016 we began designing the expansion project. So the goal of the expansion project was really to improve the flow of our 1,300 patrons in the historic auditorium and to give us much needed additional space other than just the historic stage.
Well, it's looking beautiful so far. Obviously, there's still a little bit of work to be done, but when do you expect all of this to kind of wrap up?
We're hoping the construction is finished through the holiday season. It's definitely challenging now and something that nobody planned for, but our contractor remains dedicated and they're here each and every day. Unfortunately, now they're working around our performance and event schedule, which is incredibly busy during this holiday season. So I know they have work planned during our shutdown over the holiday break. So it's just challenging to work around everybody else's schedule.
So let's go check out some of the other areas that you guys have worked on. Here we are in the Manger Ballroom. This is beautiful. You guys, what have you changed about this, and what kind of events do we hope to see here?
Well, this space is completely brand new. The goal of this space was to help us host some of our smaller events. So this space can be laid out for a small performance. We recently hosted a junior production of Beauty and the Beast in this space. We've had high school instrumental performances, can host about 300 patrons in rows of seating. Secondly, we plan to host banquets, fundraisers, private dinners before shows, and in that scenario, we're looking at closer to 200 to 250 seated at round tables for dinner. And then thirdly, we're also hosting some high school proms, some networking, social events, so events where people are more often standing, maybe some tall pub tables, and in that layout we can get closer to 400 in attendance.
That's incredible. It is very large, but that's a large amount of people. That's pretty amazing. So how is this made possible?
Well, what really made the entire expansion project possible is things like people like Dr. Manger, obviously, but more so the private-public partnership. So we received over $6 million in state funding, over $3 million in local government funding from the city and county, and then about $6 million from private community, local donors, community members in our area that have enjoyed the theater for generations, and now they've made it public that they support the theater, and that's really what made it all possible.
That's amazing. $6 million from local patrons. Like that, look at what a difference you can make just as a community coming together. It's pretty fantastic. We're standing right now in front of the time capsule. There's an actual time capsule in the wall. Tell us about what's in there. What's going on here?
Well, so the plan is to open it in 50 years after the grand opening, 2069. We'll have a big ceremony and see what's still remaining. We packaged everything with care, just as the instructions told us to, in specially sealed containers and envelopes and whatnot. There are letters from our current elected officials, from our staff. There's photos of some of our donors and groups of government leaders who supported the project. There's a crown from the Miss Maryland pageant. There are some merchandise items from the Maryland Symphony Orchestra and some of our other performance partners. We have several full-color photographs from the Barbara Ingram School for the Arts students performing on our stage. So hopefully in 50 years we'll find them intact and have a celebration.
Take a sledgehammer to that wall and just see it all over again. That's pretty cool. One thing I did not realize was that this is actually a part of the Barbara Ingram School. So tell me about that.
Yes, so the Barbara Ingram students are very lucky to be able to rehearse and perform in our space each and every day, and we are thrilled to have them. It keeps our building alive and busy during the school day. They're here hosting everything from gym classes, dance classes, instrumental, theater, you name it, and we are hosting them. We now have the complete third level that's a rehearsal and classroom space for them with adjoining changing rooms. And then, of course, they're performing on stage for some of their larger public events. So what's happening next to us is construction for their school to expand, and eventually we will be connected by a sky bridge next year sometime.
That's really cool. I had no idea. So, yeah, it's an ongoing relationship that you'll be having. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been very nice to meet you, and I appreciate the tour that you've given us and all of your time. Thank you so much. Come check it out, guys.